Okay, thank you.
Do you have a theme song?
No. Do I have a theme song? My theme song would be like some
Something soca, yeah.
So I need some R&B soca. I need somebody to do that. Oh, groovy soca is R&B soca. But
Is it though?
yes. Hey guys, my name is Jalisa Jaikaran. I'm a makeup artist and beauty influencer, and today we are talking about how to become a makeup artist in 2020. Now, one or two of you have slided my DMs and was like, hey, I'm in high school and I want to know how to become a makeup artist. I want to learn. It's a field that I'm interested in, and I've had several questions along the same lines. So I wanted to give you not one, not two, but 10 actionable tips on how to become a makeup artist. Now, being a makeup artist and knowing how to do makeup on yourself is like my top. It is very black and white, and it's very different things. To be a makeup artist requires a very specific skill set and actually also mindset. So we're going to be going over the tips. So if you want to see more, keep on watching. So the first things first, which might be the most obvious, but it needs to be said, is to practice, practice, practice. Now, that might sound like, well, we know this, Jalisa, we know we're not supposed to be practicing, but sometimes you can get, in a crutch, or you might get very comfortable practicing makeup on yourself. And I think that practicing makeup on yourself is very, very important. Some people don't like to do it, but when I was first starting out, every Sunday I would spend time learning new products, learning new techniques, and I would do that on myself. But it's also important to try makeup on your family, your friends, and make sure that they all have different skin tones and textures. So find anybody that you could, that are willing to let you do makeup on them and try different things. So number 2 is to research. Research makeup artists, research art, research lighting. Like, don't be a makeup artist that only knows the latest products in Sephora. Being a makeup artist is all encompassing of these things. You want to understand lighting, and there are a ton of books that I read when I was, actually I'm reading books now because I just bought a book about, we'll talk about the next, but I bought a book on lighting. I've visited this library in New York called the International Center of Photography. They actually have a public library. I'm not sure if a lot of people know that it's public, but you can go to that library. They have all books about photography and like all these different things. So you want to push your mind and train your eye to look at different things. So when you see something on set, you might be like, this light, I'm not going to be able to do this person's makeup in this light because it is to this or it's to that, because you as a makeup artist understand the kind of lighting and the kind of surroundings that you need to execute your job. So if you only know about makeup and not how other things affect the makeup, then you are not succeeding. But also when it comes to research, you want to research time periods. Somebody might be like, hey, let's do like a very 60s like brow, but like let's keep the cheek very 80s, and let's do like, you want to know your references, especially if you want to like work on set. And you might, somebody might be like, hey, this is the vibe and this is the inspiration, can you come up with this? And obviously this might not be in advance, this might be on the spot, like, can you come up with this look? And you just want to be a more informed artist. So researching time periods, even looking at other makeup artists who have come before us, Kevin Aquan, Pat McGrath, Lisa Elridge, just kind of knowing what the industry looked like then and what it looks like now. It's, to me, very important because it helps you to learn and grow and to figure out your own style. I really truly believe that you don't just need to look on Pinterest and Instagram for inspiration. Get out there, do your research, and you'll find that you kind of like develop your own like swag. Yeah. Okay, so the next one, this is very important and we need to talk about this. Learn color theory. Can we learn color theory, please, all you, please. I'm begging all you, please. So I would say that color theory is very important for a makeup artist. So when I first started, I was gifted. This was one of my, I was like, I'm gonna just ask for gifts, makeup as gifts, because this is what I need. And I needed a flash palette. And I was like, I'm gonna try everything under the sun. So a flash palette, this is what it looks like. And it comes with all the colors, like all the primary colors. And pretty much with that, you should be able to challenge yourself to learn how to create skin tones with that palette, without foundation, with just that palette, learning how to mix colors. There are some incredible videos on color theory on YouTube that has been existing since like 2010, 2011, that has like still super relevant to this day and is so good. So learning color theory not only helps you with matching complexion, looking at undertones, but it also helps you with the color, like color selections, and really creating makeup that is beautiful, whether it is complementary, whether it's not, whether it's opposite colors. Like you start to develop a greater eye because you know how different colors are going to play with each other. So color theory is very important. And I will say also, this kind of ties in with color correcting. As a makeup artist, you want to know how to color correct. You are not going to take somebody like me and put like a lime light pastel green into color correct on me. And why would you not do that? You should be able to understand what skin tone this person is and why we're using this color corrector on them. Is it peach? Is it are we getting rid of veins? Are we getting rid of sallowness? Are we getting rid of a bruise? What colors and what products are we going to use to counterbalance that so it looks even? And I also would say, like, I see a lot of people sometimes they just don't even think about color correcting around the mouth, and that is something that's huge for me because I'm a makeup artist. I do makeup on camera, and I'm like I don't want around my mouth to look dark. So I can't imagine if you do a client and they're like, wait, is my foundation even? So remembering that all oranges, all peaches are not made equally. You don't have to use a very, very deep peach or deep orange on every person. I like brands like MAC. Their color correcting palettes are incredible. And also I use MAC Pro, MAQ Pro, and I'll put their palettes right here too. I use their palettes a lot because they have different ranges in their oranges. They have like a peachy orange, they have a deep orange, they have a bright orange, and that helps me because all oranges ain't the same, you know? They're not the same. So learn color theory. And number 4, create an online presence. Whether you're a beginner makeup artist or if you're just getting your feet wet and you have clients and you're just like, you know, getting in there, sliding in, you know, the industry, you want to make sure that you have a website. I don't care what anybody says, Instagram is not the new website. It is a very important and powerful marketing tool, but you still want to have a website and establish a professional presence. Even if you don't even, if you have one image and you want to put that image and it says that image with Jaleesa Jagger, makeup artist, coming soon, or whatever you want to put there, you want to make sure that you establish a professional presence. Sometimes people are like, oh, do you have a website? Do you have a portfolio? Yes, you can add that shit on your highlights. Yes, you can, like, you know, put that on Instagram, but it's just not the same. Like, people will find you on Instagram. Make sure that you're utilizing this tool. You make sure you use stories. You're posting your work. I post a lot of myself too, but sometimes I'll post my work on stories, and you could go to my portfolio highlights and see more, and then that might, you know, tantalize them to, you know, click the link in the bio to see more. So you definitely want to share, cross-promote your work, but don't forget that you still need to have a professional presence. Number 5, I would have to say to invest in your kit. Now, when I first started, I used, you know, I don't know if you remember, they had this B&H 120 palette. It wasn't just B&H, it was like a ton of brands that had these palettes and have 120 colors, and then you like a stack and you pull out the stack and you get. So I would never like tell people, oh, you shouldn't buy those movie things. Yes, it's China makeup or whatever, but that's what I was doing in the beginning too. You know, I do think that there are so many more options that you don't have to like you don't have to use certain brands that you think that are not good for the skin, because sometimes, like, I'm not sure if you guys watch this documentary on Netflix about counterfeit makeup, and like, you know, you just want to be careful with what you buy, because you're putting this on other people too, and you don't want to get a lawsuit or anything like that. So you know, maybe we'll talk about insurance in an episode of my podcast, The Life of a Makeup Artist, but that's a whole other conversation. So definitely invest in your kit. There's so many drugstore brands that make incredible products. L'Oreal, Maybelline Fit Me foundations, Revlon lipstick, glosses, Skin. They have great blushes. Like, there are so many more options now, so I don't think anybody has an excuse to not have shades in their kit, because I've heard like other people come across makeup artists. I have never really personally come across anyone, but they've come across people and they're like, oh, you don't have any dark shades in your kit. I've heard horror stories, you know, models, you know, they don't have any foundation for them, and they're like, oh yeah, this is good, your skin is perfect. Just stop. Just stop. You know, just stop. Go spend $10 and get a shade. Get a shade, because even if you don't want to buy like something high end, you can definitely start building your kit with drugstore foundations. You know, there's so many things that are more affordable now. ColourPop has like great stuff. I just tried their concealer, and if you have not looked at that video right here, you can look at it. But yeah, so invest in your kit and make sure that you are there to perform a service. And if you're there to perform a service, like let's say you go to get your hair done and this person does not have the best tools for your hair, you're like, why am I paying you for? What is this we doing here? So far in this video, we have discussed 5 tips to become a makeup artist in 2020. Now, I want to make sure that you're still with me, because the next 5 tips are really important. So let's go to tip number 6. Number 6, I would say, is to take the jobs that you can. Take every opportunity and use it to learn. I'll tell you guys a quick little story time. I assisted this particular makeup artist for years and years, became his first. If you want to know more, you should probably listen to my podcast, shameless plug. But this is how this whole thing happened. They reached out to me and they were like, hey, we need a makeup artist for this show, right? It was a fashion show, and this was one of my biggest goals when I first moved to New York. They were like, let's say the amount of models in the show was like 30 models. There's 30 models in the show, and we need you to come. 20 minutes later, of course, I said yes with the quickness. 30 minutes later, they were like, oh, hey, they actually changed the amount of models in the show, so we're not going to need you anymore, but thanks so much. And I was just like, if you still need me to come, I'm going to be there, but you know, don't worry if you don't need me, but I'm definitely willing to come and still help out. If you need an extra little hand, I will come, and I'm there, I'm ready, you know. And they were like, sure, come. And I was there. And I was ready to work. I didn't care. I didn't care who was getting paid. I didn't care where I sat. I didn't care if I was down in the corner. If I was up in front, I was just like, I have a space and I am here and I am grateful, and I did what I had to do. I didn't even get to connect with the key. I didn't talk to nothing happened. But guess what? After that, they started to call me more. So when you're there, you're really there to like put your best foot forward. You're not trying to like, you know, network with people on set. You're not trying to be a big old personality. You're there to help. You're there to help the key makeup artist execute a vision. People notice, you know what I mean? And regardless, okay, I'm talking in the sense of like me living in New York and being in fashion, but let's say you want to learn bridal and you're like, listen, I'm going to come help you. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I still, you know, there are certain things where I'm like, you should be getting paid for that. But there are certain situations where it's like, listen, you can learn a lot from just being around this person, just being around this caliber of work that you would not have other access to. Take it, learn, hush your mouth, and do what you have to do, because that is the way that you learn. You put your head down and you do what you have to do. And like I said, I don't believe in like mistreatment, people overworking you or giving you jobs where you should be paid. But certain things, I'm like, you better get it. So, don't do this thing. Let me tell you something. Don't do this thing if you don't love it. Instagram can make makeup, being a makeup artist, look so glamorous, so nice. You're traveling the world. You're with this celebrity. You're with that person. You're backstage. You But this thing, let me tell you, don't let people make you get caught up in the Joneses. Being a makeup artist is not a very easy job. You are a therapist. You have to be a bodybuilder because the freaking weight of these Burton bags and these makeup kits is not easy. You know what I mean? And you have to be enthusiastic about what you're doing. You might have a horrible day, but then sometimes you have to come on set and you have to be 100% there. Sometimes it takes a journey. You might see somebody blow up because they're doing this person's makeup, but you don't know this person was in the strip club doing makeup just to make ends meet, or this person was doing whatever. It just like it is a journey, and you have to remember that everybody's journey is different. Somebody might start this year and next year they're doing huge things. You might start this year and then 5 years later you're just kind of getting your mojo going. So remember that your journey is different, and if you don't love it, you're going to be very unhappy because there are days where you're just not the star on set. They might be like, listen, we're going to do this crazy hair, we want the makeup to look natural. Actually, you know what, don't do any makeup. Can you just do a little bit of concealer and lip balm? And you might be like, well, I brought all these things, like I want to do a look, and it's not always about you. You have to remember that you have to tailor your makeup to the creative vision, and it's just not always about you. So if you don't love what you do and you know when to pull back and when to relax yourself, relax your body a little bit, you're not gonna have fun. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have fun. So don't do it if you love it. If you don't love it, just find something else to do. Seriously. Just find something else to do. And the next one, which is like me in my 30, I'm 30 now. I'm like, whether I choose girl, because I used to work for Mac. I worked for Mac for 5 years, and I would wear platforms. I'm like cute, and of course I'm young. I'm not like thinking about anything else. I'm like, I'm cute, and I'm wearing these shoes, and I would come with a look every day, not thinking about the future, the sciatica and the all the back pain and stuff. Like I've seen several makeup artists, or no, actually a friend with makeup artists that have had muscle spasms, that have had shoulder surgery. You really want to remember that being a makeup artist is actually a very, very physical job. So if I can do better with the exercising, but you need to exercise, you need to stretch. Even if you want to wear your little cute shoes one day, you want to balance it, because over time that stuff is going to catch up to you, and your body is going to be like, what we doing here? Because I don't like it. And this one is to be clean your kit, clean your brushes, please, because people can seriously get sick. People can get a sty, people can get herpes, people can get paralyzed. I don't know if people actually think how serious being a clean makeup artist is. I always tell people, I said, listen, if you see this person doing this, stop them. If you realize like you're going to the same person or a certain job and they keep reusing brushes and stuff, that ish is not okay. So I'm part of a company that's called Cognisafe. We are combining beauty education and sanitization and bringing more education to people, because yes, if you have no training, because this makeup artist thing, most people didn't go to school to become a makeup artist. So, you want to make sure that your artist is being clean. You're using disposables. You're not reusing brushes on multiple people. And I think as a makeup artist, that is something that has to be drilled in your head, because sometimes you're on set and you're like, oh my God, I need this, give me this brush. And then you're like, you are being sued. And there is one situation that happened in Florida some time ago. This was like between friends, but the friends, one of the girls, she already had like a staph infection, and she used her friend's dirty makeup brush, and she ended up paralyzed. That's how real it is. And I don't know if people really talk about it, because you've seen maybe petitions when people like, oh, I got herpes from using a tester. It was just like, you look for that. But if it is I paying for a service, you need to be clean, because then you just need to stop doing makeup, because you're gonna make people get sick, and it's not even a game. All right, And the last one is number 10 is to find, I wouldn't even say a mentor, but find someone who has a mentorship quality. So this is two parts. Find a mentor, and also I would say find like an accountability partner, because I think that sometimes people, as you're growing, you need somebody to tell you if this thing looking bad. You need somebody to say, hey, this not looking good, or like this, you need to like work on this or work on that. And I have a friend like that. Sometimes up to this day I would send her stuff, and she will send me literally, let me see if I can find it. She will literally send me a photo, like I can't look for that up. She'll send me a photo and she'll be like, oh, this part, this is what I think you could fix. And if you don't have like the mental fortitude to take some criticism, you're not going to do well in this industry, because people are so harsh. Sometimes it will be like, you might be to do the hottest, best beat you've ever done on a client, and they'll be like, I don't like it. Or on set, they'll be like, I just don't know if can we just try a different, I'm not sure what it is, but let's just try something different, So you need to have those people in place, so when the world comes at you, you're just like, it's okay, sure, let's change it, no problem. Oh, you don't like it, it's totally fine, let's try something else. So I think when people are looking for mentors, they're like, oh, what can this person do for me? But I think when you're finding a mentor, look for people who you connect with, people that you think you love what they're doing and you think that you can help them in some way, because being a mentor is a huge it's a huge task, it's a huge thing to take on. So if you're looking for people, just reach out. And I know several makeup artists that they have their first assistant or their person that they might help, and it's just like being a first assistant and having somebody who you always pass things on to is different from being able to impart knowledge and like advice. And that's priceless. And actually in 2020, I'm going to be, offering more advice and career advice and things like that in a packaged way, because I love answering questions for you guys in this format. But this is a whole production. This is like 3 lights, 2 cameras, like this is a lot going on. So definitely look out for that. But find a mentor, find people who can be your accountability partners, find people that are going to be honest with you, because that is very important. For me, when I first moved to New York, one of my mentors, Crystal Wright, helped me up to this day, because this is somebody that I paid for her course, and she always remained as a resource for me, as someone I could always talk to. So I always would say, like, if you have to invest in your career and pay for somebody's service, like, do it, because it's worth it. The first thing I did when I moved to New York was try to get into Crystal's class. I moved in March and I was trying to get into May class. I didn't have enough money because I didn't start working yet. I was just straight from Trinidad and I didn't have enough money. I was like, listen, I'm going to do a payment plan. I'm going to be in that class in October. And I was sitting in that class in October. So if you really want to take your career seriously, make sure that you got it. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to leave a comment below and subscribe. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some love. I have so much in store for 2020.